What's going on, YouTube? Would you not believe that I've shot this video so many times and now my neighbor's mowing his lawn? I apologize for any sound. I'll make sure that it's good before I post this. But today we're going to talk about boat size, the Triton, why I run it, and kind of take you on a little tour of how I have it set up. And I'm going to go over the things it's capable of, because I've had this out on the Pro Tour now for my second year here. And I'm going to show you guys, or tell you, I guess, my experience with it, okay? So let's just start off right away with the specifications, kind of to get that out of the way, because I know some guys are here just they want to know what this thing runs and miles and speed and whatever. So 46 to 47 with the 150 Merc XL. Okay, I know these boats can come with a 175 Pro XS. I don't know what you're going to gain out of that. Maybe a little better hole shot and then a 1 or 2, probably 2 to 3 miles maybe on the top end. But in this boat, you're going to run in between 46 and 47 with 2 guys loaded up with your fishing gear and all your stuff, okay? I'm not going to get into the top speed I've ever seen. I guess it's 50, 51 maybe on a river system or something like that, but that's not on average, okay? You're going to run 46 to 47. This boat holds 31 gallons of fuel. I figure that it holds 90 to 95% capacity, like anything else. And I figured a little bit low because I don't want to ever run out of fuel. So I assume that it holds 29.5 gallons. That's what I do all my math based on. Now, I don't have SmartCraft, I don't have Vessel View, so I do all my stuff by the mile, where I know in those it's by the hour, okay? So just to break it down for you, if you fill this tank up full and you're gonna get on the lake and it's pretty nice, small, minor chop, and you're gonna run wide open all day, you're gonna be able to go about 60 to 65 miles before you need fuel. Now, I have not ran it all the way down. I'm always impressed by what this boat is getting, but I think I've dialed it in pretty good. So that's at 5,500 RPMs. You're gonna run a 60 to 65 miles. If you, actually anytime above 5,000, it kind of stays in that area. So you're actually better if you're gonna stick around that and just going wide open. Now, if you get under 5,000, like the 4,500 to 4,800, that's where you're gonna gain quite a bit. You're actually gonna gain a full mile per gallon. And I've been able to run this boat about 90 to 95 miles on that, roughly. Okay, like I said, I've never ran it bone dry or anything like that, but I've done a lot of math and I've taken this thing a lot of places, and that's what I've come up with. So that's what you're looking at for distances and speed, if that's all you're here for. So now we got that out of the way. Why do I run a Triton 186, okay, on the tour? I catch a lot of grief for it. I obviously got the smallest boat on the tour, and there's 2 main reasons. Reason number 1 is money. Big boats cost big money, right? So I have never found, so I went from a 621 into this, and it was an older Ranger, and it was kind of just starting with a new dealership, new boat. And what had happened was I kind of got it late in the year last year, and it was like, well, let's run this for this year, and then next year we will upgrade. So we had everything lined up, and then the Corona happened. So I'm thankful because my circumstances changed, and this boat is actually a much better fit for me in all aspects of life, not just fishing. So I'll leave it at that. That is reason number 1. Reason number 2 is, I guess, justification. You're gonna, I don't know how to put this friendly. Do I lose time maybe fueling on a tournament? Yeah. Am I going as fast as the other boats? No. Can I hold as much fuel? No. This video is not made to argue against these bigger boats, because they are going to perform better and in a tournament setting. But with this boat, I have a lot of confidence in where I can go, what I can take it through, and I will straight up tell you that there's not much that I would take. There's not many waves that you would take a 621 that I wouldn't take this and be right behind you, okay? I have that much confidence in how I run this boat, my throttle control, my trim level, all that stuff. So bearing that, I just have not, it's never held me back in a tournament. It's never kept me from cashing a check. I've always been able to get where I need to go, and I've been on some pretty dang big water. Lake Huron, Green Bay, Lake Sakakawea, you know, so I've seen big waves. I've taken this on big waves. I don't beat it up by any means, but I do take it to its max potential. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, so the Allure versus the Fishunter, right? Why did I choose the Allure? For one, though, there's only one big difference in the 186 series. It's the same hull, same motor, same everything. The biggest difference is the U shape, right? So you got your side storage, and we're going to get down and take a look at that here in a minute. But the reason I didn't was because my cockpit shortened up considerably, and I didn't want that in the way. I wanted an open dance floor, if you will, and I like having the room when we're trolling and stuff like that. When I'm casting, I'm usually up there anyway, so I didn't really see it as a huge loss, as well as tackle storage. There's a ton of storage in this thing, and if you're just straight up fishing, like I don't really do a lot with this boat other than fish. I have this thing packed down with tackles, so we'll take a look at that as well. So that's the big difference in the Allure and the Fishunter. There's not massive differences. Once you get, I don't know in the 20-foot what changes. I think those are both the same too, except for that. But you might have to check on that. But I know in the 186 it is, and they're all the same hull, okay? Even in the 206, the 20-foot series. So you're not losing anything there besides your U-shape, and then this one's got the flip-up seats. And that was kind of my thought process behind it. And it hasn't really affected me too much yet. I've been able to fit and cram every single thing that I can for a tournament into here. So I'm gonna grab you guys, and we're gonna look around. Now, quick before we do that, I will say where you're going to lose a lot on this boat if you're talking competitive fishing, okay? This is strictly competitive. If you're a family guy, this thing's awesome. I don't know that I would look at another boat. If you want it a little bit longer, sure. But this thing is like built for family fun and just a weekend fisherman, if you will. And it's really a good boat for that. So for tournament though, where you're going to lose is the 3-foot waves, okay? That's where you're gonna really start missing, because you're gonna have to slow down a little bit, and those boats are already faster than you, right? So they're gonna be able to just really leave you in the back. I actually prefer on a tournament day if we're in like 5 to 6 footers, because everybody has to slow down, okay? So that helps me out. You're running at a lower RPM, so I can go further. It might take longer, but I prefer that over 2 to 3 footers in this boat. And depending on the span of the waves, I can actually, I'm pretty confident in my ability to run this boat, and I've passed 20-foot boats in a real big chop, if you will, just because the boat control operating. You get into these bigger boats, and it's way more important than people think. You can't just throttle down and trim up and just let her rip. You have to know how to ride a lot of these waves, and I think this is a great starting point, to be honest with you. So with that, let's dive into this thing a little bit, and I will show you first off what helps those rides the most by far, and it is those guys right there, these smooth moves, okay? I don't know how you could own a boat without them anymore. That thing has saved my back so many times, and I'm so grateful for Smooth Moves and the company and what they do and their product, because it is made my soreness even less on a really rough day, okay? So, as you can hear, my neighbor is obnoxiously rolling around here, but we're gonna get this done. So let's look at this front storage first. And here's what I mean of why I didn't choose the U. I have about 8 boxes taken out right now that go in here, and I have all that left. Same with this side, okay? So I have a ton of storage, and that's with my Coast Guard stuff, your fire extinguisher, all that. The rod locker, I have 12 in there right now, and believe me, I have packed this thing, okay? You can get about 20 rods in here if you really try. If you have a lot of trolling rods, obviously it's a little bit harder because of the bulk of the reel, not the rod. But again, if you're down for retying, you can just cut them off and travel separately, but it's got plenty of storage, okay? Here's your side storage. I keep a couple trolling rods and my net in there during travel. Works out really well. Here's one thing that I wish was different, okay? Here's this jump seat. Now, if you have the rods loaded, you can see my rod tips, right? I have broken a few just being negligent back here in the middle of a fishing day and throwing this up and down, having rods over there. So you do have to be very careful. At the same time, it's kind of nice to hold your rod tips down. They're not always bouncing. But I just don't really understand why they don't throw this battery onto the other side, and then you'd have most of your main storage into this one. Obviously, I pack a bunch of stuff into there too. All my planer boards and my rod holders. One thing you will notice about this, no kicker. We're gonna get to that in another video of why. Well, not really why. I'll tell you why I don't have a kicker. It's because it wasn't on this package, and like I said, I didn't really think I'd keep it that long. But instead of throwing $6,000 onto this boat, I have found one heck of a way to troll crankbaits, and I still have all the confidence in the way I troll them. So once again, it's not to say that you can do it better than a 9.9 or a 15 horse kicker. That's unrealistic. Those are tremendous things to have on your boat. But I am very efficient and confident in the way that I troll some of my baits, and I'll show you guys that in a video coming up soon. Other than that, that's the 186. If you guys have any other questions, I mean, this thing's a machine. I've taken it out to the Great Lakes. I fish a big lake as my home lake on Sakakawea, and I have zero trouble with it, and that is why I run a smaller boat. I catch a lot of grief, but until it holds me back, we're gonna keep on keeping on, all right? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I'm sure I forgot things, but I really enjoy this boat, and I run the heck out of it, and it always keeps me in one piece and fishing, so I have no complaints. But like I said, if you have any questions, hit me up on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. I post a lot about my boat and the things I'm doing and how I'm rigging stuff and running stuff in this boat. So yeah, I would appreciate the follow as well. We're gonna get after it on Lake Sakakawea here. We got another tour event coming up here in early September, so we're gonna start getting after that real soon. And we're kind of in the dog days of summer right now, and it's super hot up here today, so we're taking it off. I have some boat cleaning to do, but we're gonna be after it again soon. All right.